Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news that's related to boxing. We're going to talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We had a great show for you today. If you want to call in, luckily for everyone, Blog Talk is working today. So how about that? 323-870-3857. Let's get it going here. ESPN. Beeb, the pride of Ohio, Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Ryad. Is it Merhy? How does he pronounce that?
I don't know.
Who cares, right? Who cares?
You tell me.
Because he was absolutely there. I am. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, not sure what happened to that. Yeah, I tell you what, he was absolutely. Big Baby Miller wins a unanimous decision, 100-90 on all three scorecards. Well, two of the three scorecards. Somebody had it 99-91. What round could you possibly give Ryad Merhy? What round? Would you give him the walkout? Because I don't know what round you could have possibly given that guy. He was an absolute disgrace last night. That is the nicest way I can phrase it. That is the nicest word I can use to describe Ryad Merhy's performance last night. It was utterly disgraceful. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want to throw. What did he throw? 122 punches in the fight. Not in the first 6 rounds. In the entire fight. 122 shots. Are you for real? And you say, well, what about Jared Anderson? Jared Anderson threw a lot of punches. Jared Anderson looked good. He used his jab. It looked like a sparring session. But let me tell you what. You can't fight a guy who doesn't want to fight. I can't make him fight. Listen, Ryad Merhy is a good fighter. He is. He's a good fighter. Who did he beat last time? Who did he beat to get this fight? Who was the guy he beat?
I don't know, man.
We don't even remember. He beat somebody.
You got to help me out here, man. I'm stumped.
I'm stumped too because he sucks. All right.
Whoa!
Whoa! Well, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Come to Ohio? He ain't stepping foot in Big Baby Anderson's backyard. Let me tell you that right now.
5'9", 233.
What's
5'9", 233. You ain't messing with that. Stop acting out of pocket, man.
I'm just saying, I think I might have a shot. With the way he fought last night, I may have a shot. I don't know.
It's a confidence builder. That's a confidence builder.
It's a real confidence builder. Let me tell you what. I don't know of anybody who'd be scared of him watching that performance last night. Would you? Would you be scared of Ryad Merhy if you watching that performance last night? If you're another boxer and you're out there looking,
I mean, the cashier. The cashier at Publix made me flinch today, man. So don't go by me.
Publix.
Just being honest.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I tell you, man, it was just it was one of those things, man. I'm watching this fight. I'm like, and I'm watching it. I didn't have I had the sound off. I'm watching it on my phone because I'm watching the UFC 300 card or whatever. And I'm watching. I'm like, man, this guy ain't doing nothing. Like, he's not offering up any type of resistance. It was almost like a gentleman's thing where it's like, don't hurt me and I'll let you go the distance, or like, don't hurt me and I'll just, let me last and I'll just keep doing this all day. It was awful.
You know what? Bradley made a good point, and I don't know if this is true or not. You tell me. Does the UFC have a rule, a timidity rule, where if a fighter is not engaging and he's being overly defensive and he's really not offering up any offense, do they start taking it?
Yeah, we've seen that happen. Yeah, we've seen that happen where if they're not fighting, the referee say, "Come on, let's get some action, let's get some contact." Or a lot of times what they'll do is they'll grab them, they'll take them down and just hold them. And they don't try to advance the position. They don't try to throw any punches. They don't do anything. The referee will stand him back up and say, let's fight.
Does the referee take points away for it, or what does he do?
I've never seen points taken away for it. I've never seen points taken away for it. But, the referee can do this in boxing as well. I've seen, remember, what was it, Mills? I think it was Mills Lane or whatever. I remember that where he said, he told the guy, hey, I want you to come on, try to mix it up here a little bit, or whatever. And I remember that, and guys like Mills Lane or whatever would do that. I haven't seen it done, but I haven't seen a fighter fight like this in a long, long time, man. This was awful. And what do you do if you're Jared Anderson? So lose if you're Jared Anderson. I mean, because what does he do?
Let me just
cannot make that guy fight.
Let me just give my analysis. There were a lot of guys in Tyson's day that didn't want to fight him. And what did he do? He took him out. You got to take that guy out. If that guy's just standing there, you gotta open the guy up, man. You can't just go in cruise control and have this silent agreement like your man Teddy Atlas likes to say, where I'm just if you're not doing anything, I'm just gonna do just enough, right?
Tony Yoka is the guy he beat to get this fight.
Okay,
all right, good fighter, And listen, the guy has 33 fights, maybe 32 fights going in.
Yeah.
Listen, man, this guy is a legit fighter. He knows how to fight. And listen, you know this as well as I do. If you have a good defense and you just turtle, and you don't want to get hit, then there's not much they can do.
I don't know, man. You got to be able to get him.
There's really not. There's not.
There's
not much you can do with that guy. If he refuses to engage, what are you going to do?
Got to open him up, man. You got to go to the body. You got to vary up your offense.
He was hitting them all night.
He was hitting
Jared. Anderson was hitting them all night.
I don't know, man. He wasn't stepping in with shots. He wasn't really stepping in with the shots. He looked like he was just content to go rounds, man. Then he was switching southpaw, and it almost looked like
let him go the rounds. Use it to work. Because I tell you what, if I was the commission or if I was the promoter, I would honestly look at withholding this purse. I really would.
All right, let me ask you this though: you weren't disappointed with Jared Anderson at all?
No, I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good.
You didn't think he showed us like a lack of sense of urgency in there? Like he just was happy and content to pick and prod away at this guy. He didn't really step in with the shots.
I think he had a little bit too much respect for the guy. I really do. But no, he did exactly what he should have done. Won every single round. And that guy, literally, as well as I do. Again, if you got a guy in there who's really good defensively, you're not going to get him out of there. And he decides to turtle up. Look at Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. Mikey got pounded in that fight. Why couldn't Errol take him out? Because Mikey's a really good defensive fighter. He's not in. If he doesn't want to get hit and he doesn't want to engage, listen, man, it is what it is.
Can I ask you this? Now, Errol Spence was better fighter than Mikey Garcia, obviously, but
yeah,
was the gap in that fight as wide as the gap in this fight? Would you say?
Well, what does Jared Anderson got? Like 16 fights? How many fights does he have?
You know what it is?
Hold on one second. Let me see. 16-0. Jared Anderson's 16-0. He's 16 fights. He's fighting a guy double his experience. Okay. The guy's got 30 some odd fights. No, I think he did. He's still, we put Jared Anderson on a pedestal because he's from Ohio.
Well,
we both do this. We both do this. He's from Ohio, so he's going to be a superstar, right?
You pay me
put this guy on a pedestal.
You pay me to do it, but you naturally do it.
So the guy is a natural, he's going to be from Ohio. He's a natural superstar, right? So we hold him to a higher standard. So then that's what you're doing here, which I understand. And I appreciate, of course, but the brass tacks of it is he's only got 16 fights. He's still a relatively young fighter. He's still making a come up. He's not going to get a title shot next week.
Do you think
I thought he fought well? I thought he fought every round. I thought, as far as the other guy, I wouldn't pay a dime to watch him fight again. I wouldn't watch him for free. I wouldn't watch him, period.
I mean, another good thing is he's only 24 years old and he hasn't even really entered his prime yet.
No.
So what you're saying is we haven't really seen the best of Jared Anderson. You think there's a lot of potential still there, and you're still high and excited about this guy.
I was excited last night. I wasn't excited about Merhy's performance, but Jared Anderson, how could you not be?
Yeah, I don't know,
He
man.
did everything
the
he was
jury
supposed to do.
The jury is still out, in my opinion.
Didn't get hit.
Yeah. Think he's ready for Wilder? He called out Wilder.
Oh, he'd smash Wilder. Anderson smashes Wilder.
You pick him against Wilder?
I pick him against any heavyweight in the division.
Except for Fury?
He's smashing. He's already beat Fury. You and I both know this, man. We know he's been knocked out in sparring from Big Baby Anderson. That's why he had to delay that second Wilder fight. It's fact. So I've heard, allegedly.
You have any footage?
I'm sure I can come up with some.
All right. We'll get the production team on that one for you.
We'll get the production team. You call out the people. You call out our producer at Beeb Industries.
Okay.
We'll call him. We'll call the film room at Beeb Industries and
Lois,
that tape.
Lois, set up that meeting tomorrow morning, please.
Jared Anderson sucks. You wish. Look at that. Ohio sucks. Go blue. How dare you? How dare you? Notorious VC says, why did he pick the opponent? I don't think he did. I think it was picked for him. It's not like Anderson went out of his way and said, hey, I want this guy. I want to fight this schlep right here because he doesn't throw any punches.
Yeah, I think it's the matchmakers that do that.
Yeah. And how are we supposed to know he's going to lay an egg right there? You know what I mean? Jay Will, no, I'm not trolling. I'm telling you, he's the best fighter in the heavyweight division right now.
He means it.
100%.
He means
the best fighter out there. Who's better? Who's better? We don't know.
Man,
he calls out Wilder but fights Merhy. What do you mean he calls out Wilder? Listen, again, we cannot make this guy fight. All right? Me and Anderson and his team, we're like, hey, if this guy wants to fight, let's bring him in. But they don't want that. But his next fight's going to be in Toledo, it sounds like, in the summer. I'm sure he'll fight. Listen, man.
They're keeping him busy.
Home, and, of course, we're going to welcome him. Obviously, we're going to throw a ticker tape parade in Ohio. The whole state's going to be on lockdown that day. It'll probably be a state holiday anyway when he comes back. So, look, man, what did you not like about the performance last night? Not Merhy's because his sucked. We know that. But, let's talk about Jared Anderson for a minute. Let's talk about the big baby. Let's talk about the next heavyweight champion here for a minute.
I just didn't see a lot of fire. I didn't see him stepping in with shots. I didn't see a lot of explosiveness. Looked like he was just happy to just go the rounds.
Sure.
And looked like you said, when you say a fight looks like a sparring session, that reflects on both fighters. Because when you're sparring somebody, you're doing just enough to get work in, and you're not really looking to hurt the guy. It didn't look like he was throwing punches yesterday with bad intentions, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and he wasn't stepping in with shots. There just seems to be something missing. There's nothing really dynamic about this guy. Like I don't know. There's just something missing.
The footwork, the movement, the power. You kidding?
Definitely is athletic, but there's just a lack of spark, a lack of fire, killer instinct. I'm just not seeing it.
Nah.
I
Am Your Leader says Richard Torres is better. Jared already lost to him. Jared wasn't good enough for the Olympics. Neither was Felix Trinidad. Neither was a lot of people that were champion. Julio Cesar Chavez wasn't good enough for the Olympics either.
Mike Tyson lost to Henry Tillman twice.
Wasn't good enough for the Olympics. Yeah, there you go.
Henry Tillman was the man
twice.
who stopped Mike Tyson from going to the Olympics twice.
Mike Tyson
fought Henry Tillman as a pro, and he knocked him out in one round.
Tommy Hearns. Hearns was never in the Olympics. Pryor, same way.
I'm not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater right now with Jared Anderson, but I'm skeptical. Now, again, he's only 24, but the thing is he seems to me like he fights because he can, not because he loves it. And there's guys out there that are like that, like Sugar Ray Robinson really didn't like to fight. He wanted to be a dancer. He wanted to be an entertainer.
Right.
And he even said, I don't like fighting. I only do it because I'm good at it. Right. I kind of get the same feeling with Jared Anderson. I'm being honest. I just don't think that he loves to fight. That doesn't mean he's not a good fighter, but I don't know. I mean, things can change a lot in the next 4 or 5 years. When he's 28 and Fury's gone and Joshua's gone and Usyk's gone, the division will be wide open, but Richard Torres will still be there.
Yeah.
Right? Jalilov will still be there, right?
Where's Jalilov at? Where's he at?
Frank Sanchez will still be there, right? So there'll still be some guys out there that'll present challenges for him.
But let me tell you what, nobody wants to see Frank Sanchez fight. Nobody. And you know what? Frank Sanchez will not get a title fight because of the way he fights. Nobody wants to see it. He has no personality, and he has no – listen, if you can't fight, if you can't, like, you know, if you have that style, the hit not get hit style, you better have a personality to go along with it. Because if you don't, you're not getting those fights. You're just not.
Conversation with the guy. He's a very nice guy, man.
Nice guy? Great. Go sell insurance then, all right? Because you don't belong here.
Go sell insurance. That's awesome. Oh, God.
And we didn't compare Mike Tyson to Jared Anderson.
Yeah, but Frank Sanchez had he was on the Saudi card, had a nice knockout. I like Frank Sanchez, man.
I like Frank Sanchez too. Listen, and I like the way he fights. I'll be honest with you. I like the way he fights. But he's not crowd pleasing.
I think Frank Sanchez.
That's what's going to get you in there.
I would pick Frank Sanchez right now over Big Baby. Be honest. I think he would beat him.
Oh, you would lose money on that. Steve Industries would go under if you took that bet. Are you kidding me?
The Cuban Flash. You don't like the Cuban Flash?
I like the Cuban Flash. I don't think he beats Anderson. Where's Jalilov at?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me see if we can find him.
Haven't heard from him in a while. You're right.
No.
I heard Frank Sanchez may be fighting Ajit Caballel. It's a good fight. He just knocked out Junior Fa, man, on the day of reckoning, man.
Stop it.
7-round knockout, man. Junior Fa. Got to start giving this guy some respect, man.
Just stop it, will you?
Junior Fa was like 20-1.
Don't embarrass yourself anymore. Just stop. Just put the brakes on.
Gotta start showing people respect around here, man.
Come on. All right, Jalilov is 14-0, so he has been fighting. When was his last fight? November of last year. I mean, nobody's, and this is another one, but they're all, yeah. They're not really. Who's this promoter?
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure.
Vadim Kornilov is his manager, agent or whatever. Yeah,
but
man, this guy.
But Frank Sanchez is 24-0, 17 knockouts.
14-0, 14 knockouts for Jalilov.
Yeah.
That's Jalilov. The guy we've been fighting. We talked about this. Remember, we covered him in the Olympics, and we came in. Jalilov is with Top Rank. I Am Your Leader says he's with Top Rank. Man, why are we not seeing more of this dude?
I haven't seen this guy. I mean, I'm not seeing him.
Yeah. I'm not seeing him either, man. They got to start moving this dude up, man, because this guy is good.
Yeah.
And, you know, I tell you what, we talk about the next crop of contenders. You know, Jared Anderson's there, Frank Sanchez. Jalilov is there too. And Jalilov, I'll be honest with you, may be the best of the bunch.
Yeah.
He might be the best of the bunch.
I think it's him. Then I like Frank Sanchez behind, but after him.
Frank Sanchez is like 103 years old.
31. Come on, please.
Dude. He's the most shot out 31-year-old I've ever seen. There's no way that guy's 31. No way. Stop it.
But Jalilov hasn't had the best competition, but he's
okay. I Am Your Leader said he was on the Prograis Zepeda fight. He said that he saw him at the live. All right. Okay. I told you, Frank Sanchez, JC, look, this is why I like our audience here. JC even says Frank is 190 years old. That's documented.
He's 31. Come on.
He's this documented.
Gotta stop adding years to these boxes, man.
I'm just saying. It's written. You know what I mean?
You can start getting some defamation. Some of you guys in the chat have been getting some defamation suits against you, man. I'm getting tired of it, man. I'll call up the legal team. I'm getting tired of it.
The legal team.
I'm tired of you guys defaming these boxers, man, adding years to their lives and stuff.
Yeah. I will tell you, like I said, man, I think Jalilov is he might be the best of the bunch. And the only reason he's not right now is I haven't seen too much of him.
Yeah.
But I know he's good. I know he's a really good fighter. But they're
6
not. I like to see him step up too. I mean, because but he's only got 14 fights. And Anderson.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Seems like he's fighting better guys, but who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
he's fighting slightly better competition.
Yeah.
But we'll see. This guy's 6'7", 81-inch reach, southpaw.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Danny Drew says UFC 300 was fire. Man, I tell you what, it sure was.
A lot of people liked it. I watched it. I enjoyed it.
Jay Will, look at this. Look at this from Jay Will here. So Holly Holm got smashed on that bad. He said that Harrison girl was jacked. Beeb, I don't know if you know this or not. Do you know where Kayla Harrison is from? Right here, son. Ohio. In fact, she's local. She's Cincinnati, Hamilton.
Right down the street, Daddy. I heard she moved out of there, though.
Well, she has to. She got to go train.
I mean,
what do you want her to stay here? I mean, what do you want to stay here all your life or whatever? Come on. She's got to train and stuff like that. This is, you can't stay. You got to get specialties and everything. Why you got to down her because she moved?
I mean,
what's the matter with you?
She kind of branched out a little bit, man. Spread her wings.
She's a monster. How's she passing a drug? How dare you? Nobody from Ohio uses drugs.
I mean, please. How old is Holly Holm right now? Like 38 or something?
Oh, she's in her prime. She's a prime lady. What are you talking about? Former world champion, former boxing world champion. Holly Holm is like 52. Holly Holm is like 25 or something like that. She's not even.
She got submitted, huh? She's 42 years old, bro.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Where are you seeing that at?
I mean, I don't even know why she's still fighting.
No, since Cincinnati has been down bad since WKRP went out of business.
That was, oh my God, that was such a good show, man.
It was, man. It was.
Oh, I love that show.
That's funny, man.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
The episode with the turkey drop. That's got to be their most famous episode.
Do you ever watch this channel called Antenna TV? I was watching Mel's Diner today. Alice.
Yeah,
Alice.
We got Me TV, and they got those shows on there.
Yeah, I was watching The Ropers. I was watching
Three's Company,
Archie Bunker's Place. I love those shows, man. I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch those on the wooden box TV, on the wooden box TV console on the floor. Those are great times, man.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, like. We didn't even have remotes back then, we had to change the channel manually, man.
Beeb Senior would like take his foot and push, like kick me in the ass and like thrust me towards the television and say, "Hey, change the channel, son."
Yeah, put it on channel 8. You know what I mean? Whatever, And you're like, okay.
I was a remote back then.
I used to get called in outside. When I was outside, they used to yell out the window to come get me to change the channel. I'm like, man,
Joseph. Come here. Yes, Dad. Change the channel for me. I remember when
human children remotes.
Remember when you were a kid, like when you were a kid, and it was time to like go out and go somewhere and get in the car. Like a lot of parents would be like, or dads or moms would be like, okay, kids, get ready. We're getting ready to leave right now. Beeb Senior would be like, all right, everyone, get the F in the car. Let's go. Like there was no,
no soft touch there, Hey, let's do it. What?
Back in the day, we would,
we say the word, we mean, hey, let's go. It doesn't mean next week, it means right now.
We weren't coddled as kids.
Gavin's Ghost says Robbie reminds him of Les Nessman. He does kind of remind. He does have that voice, doesn't he?
Doesn't he? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
He does have Les Nessman's voice. Yeah, he does kind of. Yeah, so that was it for ESPN on the main card. We had Jared Anderson, and he won a unanimous. And honestly, like I said, it was a good performance. It was a good. It looked like a sparring session, is what it looked like. And it's not going to do any favors for him moving forward, but he can look good and win this fight. Look good in your next fight.
I'll have to say the fight of the weekend was on one of your favorite platforms. Zelfa Barrett versus Jordan Gill. And it was a very good fight. And Zelfa Barrett. It was a nip and tuck fight. It was a nip and tuck fight.
Don't even finish it. It doesn't matter who won.
I know you hate the zone.
It doesn't even matter who won that fight because nobody knows who those guys are. Nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Our UK audience loves these fighters, man. I mean, you got to show some respect. You got to show some respect from across the pond, man.
Who was fighting?
Zelfa Barrett and Jordan Gill.
Who are these guys? They were stocking shelves a couple weeks ago. What are you doing?
Please
stop it. All right, let's talk about the undercard here. F.A. Ajagba versus Guido Vianello. F.A. Ajagba wins by a split decision over Vianello. Scores were 96-94 for Vianello and then 96-94 the other way for Ajagba twice. I'll tell you what, man. They need to cash out Ajagba and put him against Big Baby Miller. And I'll bet you any money that's the fight they make next. Because Ajagba's done hit his ceiling. He's hit his ceiling. He's done. He ain't going nowhere. So
yeah, he's gonna be
everybody was real excited about it. Listen, there was a reason which we call it let him go. PBC let him go.
Yeah.
Now he's at Top Rank now.
Yep.
Everybody thought he was a monster over there. Look, man, I'm telling you, this is why they let him go. Because they know better than us. This is why you wonder why people get let go. This is why. There's a ceiling there.
Him and Big Baby Anderson should fight next. That's what I'm saying. The perfect fight.
Big Baby Anderson. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that fight is going to be next. I think it'll be in Toledo.
Him and Big Baby Anderson should fight next. Definitely.
Yeah. Because Anderson obviously needs a homecoming. He needs to come back to his roots. But yeah, that's what F.A. and they're going to cash him out sooner rather than later. Because again, who's he going to challenge? You know what I mean? He's not talented enough to go up anymore. He's hit his. This is as high as that ceiling is going to go for him.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's getting up there in age too. He's not like 24 like Anderson is. So.
Well, he's not a Cuban 24. But I mean, how old is he? How old is Ajagba?
I think he's in his 30s. Let me see how old he is. I'm trying to remember. I thought he was. Oh, I apologize. He's 29. Yeah. So he's not that old.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was like 31, 32. He's 29.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
So he's got some.
He's 20 and 1 with 14 knockouts. His only loss was to Frank Sanchez.
Yeah.
And that went the distance.
Yeah.
But I tell you, he just hasn't impressed me in those last few fights. You know what I mean? He just hasn't. I don't know.
Split decision, man. I mean.
Yeah, right. Against,
going nip and tuck with a guy like that. I don't know.
Jeffrey Derwin says Anderson didn't look like a world beater last night either. Are you crazy? Of course he did. Everybody in Ohio was on their feet last night. What are you talking about?
They were booing him.
They weren't booing him. They were booing his opponent. They weren't booing Anderson.
I don't know about that.
That's got it twisted. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
No way. Robinson Katsukawa versus Jose Guardado. Katsukawa wins via 7th round KO. Katsukawa's one of those guys, man. It really, you always you look at him and man, this guy is so good. But then, I don't know. He's kind of one of those on again, off again guys,
Well, I believe in the Valdez fight when they took the point away from him, I would have had the fight a draw if they didn't take that point away from him. So I think he's pretty solid. Then I had I had the Navarrete fight a draw as well, and that fight was a draw. So he proved he belongs.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
He's coming off two decent fights. One with Navarrete. I think he had a no contest with Valencia. I don't know what the fuck. What happened there with this? Did someone test positive for something there?
Where?
He fought in Madison Square Garden last June against Palencia. I'm trying to remember what happened. Why was that a no contest, no decision?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I understand. Okay, it was like accidental cut or headbutt or something. Okay. Trying to remember. Some of these fights, they're not. You can't remember them because they're so uneventful sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember all this. Some of these fights, they just don't stick. They don't stick in your mind. But I thought the Valdez fight was very close.
All right, before we go to the upcoming fights here, let's bring in Robert. Robbie, you're live.
Hello, guys. How are you?
What's the word?
Look, Jared Anderson and F.A. Ajagba, that is the next fight.
Told ya.
Both of them will bring out what they have in each other. I honestly thought F.A. Ajagba lost to that guy last night. He's ever since he's left PBC and Top Rank's had him, I've never been impressed with him. So if I'm Bob and Todd DeBuff and company, I put him in Toledo against Jared in the summer and cash him out. Case closed.
Is that a loser goes home match, Robert?
It's a loser goes home match.
You've been in a few of those in your lifetime. You've been in a few of those in your lifetime, I heard.
As far as F.A. Ajagba is concerned, I consider it, but not for Jared Anderson. Top Rank did a terrible job last night of putting him in against a guy that obviously just wanted to collect a paycheck. And I thought Top Rank had the best matchmakers in the business because normally they're very good about finding the right opponents for their people. But last night, whoever brought this guy in did not do a good job. It was not entertaining at all. Anderson did what he had to do, but I think he could have done more. And, you got to put him in against somebody that will actually fight. And even though I think Ajagba has reached his peak and he won't go any further, at least the guy will fight. And I think that's what we need to see here.
You know, I got to tell you, though, I do have to tell you, I think that maybe I was a little harsh on Merhy's performance last night. Because, I mean, when you're in there with a guy like Jared Anderson, what else can you do? I mean, I think the guy came in to fight. He was just completely outgunned. Completely outgunned from the opening round. And, I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, I think I'm kind of like, I'll be honest, I've kind of softened my stance on this because.
Eric, I agree with Joe in this one. Joe's absolutely right.
What did he say?
Anderson should have put him away.
Anderson should have put him away. Anderson, the guy was playing defense the entire night. How are you going to put him away? He's a professional. 30 fights, Robert. 30 fights. There's no way. Listen,
Mike Tyson.
He ain't Mike Tyson.
Like that,
how many people are Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
One.
Nope.
One.
What can I say, Eric?
You can't say much because you can't defend your point. Because that's what I'm saying is, look, I mean, there's one Mike Tyson. So we can't compare Mike Tyson to any of them. Because there's no Mike Tyson in the heavyweight division. This guy is more like an artist, just like a Floyd Mayweather type is Jared Anderson. Painting on his canvas, masterpieces every time out.
Take your Ohio colored glasses off, Eric, and look at it from a legitimate fight standpoint.
How dare you? Speaking of glasses, did you guys see the clips over there in Cali?
No, we didn't. We didn't get very much of it over here. And
it was full of clips in Cincinnati. I'm just saying.
About this. I know we're going to talk about this next. Devin Haney will knock out Ryan Garcia.
I'm not talking about that fight. What are you talking about? Is that even who's even fighting?
That's the upcoming fight, Eric.
Is it? I had no idea. That's crazy. Yeah. Wow. Beeb, did you know that? Did you know Ryan Garcia's fighting next week?
I absolutely
fighting Devin Haney.
I knew that. Yeah.
I had no clue. How about that? That's crazy.
And I don't know. And look, Devin Haney normally can win fights on decision, but I actually think he can knock this guy out. I actually think he's going to be able to walk away and actually get a knockout in this fight.
Wow, you got no faith in Ryan Garcia. How dare you?
No, the Tank fight proved that Ryan Garcia is not ready for prime time.
I hope Brian calls in.
Why? Why? Because he got knocked out by Tank?
Look,
does that mean Leo Santa Cruz wasn't ready for prime time?
Look, I thought when Ryan fought Tank, Ryan would be able to use all of his advantages against Tank, and he didn't use a single one. And with Devin Haney, he don't have any advantages against him. Haney's going to walk right through him.
That's what I think too. But we'll see. We'll see. That's why they fight, man. That's why they fight. A lot of things can happen when people throw hands at each other.
I'm looking forward to it on Saturday. I'm definitely going to buy it. That's for sure.
You're gonna buy it? All right.
Yep.
Nice.
Good for you.
That's it. All right, Robert. We're gonna put you on hold here.
All right.
All right. Let's talk about the upcoming fights for next week. See what we got here, Beeb. I think there's only one, isn't there? Yeah, there's a couple here. Let's see. There's a couple. There's one from London, but I don't see a TV schedule on there or anything like that. So Sam Noakes versus Yvonne Mendy, 12-round lightweights. I don't know. But there's no television, so you can probably catch it in England. But all right, in New York, on pay-per-view, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, 12 rounds for Haney's WBC junior welterweight title. On the undercard, Arnold Barboza versus Sean McComb, 10 rounds, junior welterweights. Beck the Bully versus Pierre Debombe, 10 rounds, super middleweights. And John Ramirez versus David Jimenez, 12 rounds for the vacant WBA interim junior. Why do they do this? Why do they? I hate it. I hate all the alphabet soups.
It's almost like they have these interim titles to appease fighters who are in mandatory slots that they don't want to give the mandatory slot to right away. Like David Benavidez had the mandatory slot. They don't want to order the mandatory. So, hey, David, while you're waiting, we'll throw you an interim title to pacify you. It's like, and I had this discussion once with Samson Lukowicz, and he's like, yeah, well, these interim titles are great for the fighters because it helps them get more money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, great, but what do the fans get out of this? The fans aren't like they don't want to have 19 champions. The fans aren't cool with it,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
OJ says that Big Baby is liking that killer mentality. Well, he would know best. That's for sure. All right, Beeb, let's talk about this. Let's break this fight down if we can here. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. I am shocked. I'll say it over and over again. I am shocked that this fight is actually coming off. I am shocked that nobody has interfered on Ryan's behalf. No one has, none of his people have said, hey, let's get this guy some help. Let's get this guy, fighting isn't his priority right now. I don't care how big the fight is. He's Ryan Garcia. He'll get a big fight again. This to me is sad, but there's a possibility that he's trolling, that all this stuff is all for naught, and that he's fine and that he's just trolling us and we've been had. And he goes out there and he puts on the performance of his life and beats Devin Haney. Even if Ryan Garcia was at 100%, Beeb, even if he was at 100%, I still don't favor him against Haney. I don't think he's 100% coming into this fight mentally. He may physically check all the boxes, because we've seen training and stuff like that. He looks good. He's, he fast, everything like that. But if you're mentally not there, man, that's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah.
Especially against Haney. So I'm baffled. I really am baffled by this. I'm baffled that nobody has stepped in. I'm baffled that nobody has, come to his aid and said, hey, nobody has there's no adults in the room saying, hey, I don't know that this is such a good idea.
Part of me thinks that this is him just being performative, right? But you disagree, and I understand the argument. I mean, no one truly knows for sure, like the extent, what's going on in this guy's head. To me, I do think it's somewhat performative, I believe, and I don't know, man. I just think he's an attention seeker. I think there's I think there's a lot of narcissism there.
For sure.
And I just think he's just trying to do this to just have be like, hey man, look at me, I think he likes the attention. I think he likes the controversy. Some people thrive off of chaos. I think he's just one of those guys.
Yeah, there's one thing about thriving off of chaos though, but there's another thing when you see his demeanor. Like I said, I'll go back to that second press conference. when he rode on the white pony and everything like that. And
once
gets
again,
off,
that's
and
an
he
attention.
just-
That's an attention-seeking move. Who the fuck rides into a press conference on a horse?
I do, but that's normal stuff. But like, I feel bad for the horse, But look, when he gets in there and he gets in that conference and he just clams up, and you could see his demeanor just change.
Yeah,
like he doesn't want to be there.
I
And you
don't
can
wanna be
see everything. Everything is flushed. Everything is just gone now.
there. Don't wanna be there.
Let me tell you what's going to be interesting is the press conference this week. The final presser is going to be interesting, and because he's going to get asked these questions, and we'll see how he handles it, and we'll see how the stock answer is going to be from that. Oh yeah, he's 100% focused on it and everything like that. But again, guys like De La Hoya and Hopkins, I don't know who his manager is, but his manager really should have stepped in and been the adult and said, look, and I get those millions of dollars on the line. I do.
So you don't think he should be fighting?
No, I don't. I don't think he's mentally stable to be fighting. No, I don't. Nope. And you know what? And we've heard it in the in those little chat sessions that he does, those little video sessions or whatever. I've heard people say, listen, do you trust me? And they weren't talking on the mic or anything. There's one video out there where this girl is talking to him. She said, do you trust me? He was like, yeah, she was like, this, you really should handle this a different way. This is not good. I don't think you're doing the right thing here. Yeah. And they're trying. And listen, he can go on social media and say whatever he wants. What did he say? Somebody stole his stuff or whatever, and he was making all kinds of crazy accusations.
Yeah.
And look, man, and if that's the case, if this is real life, they should have stepped in.
Should have stepped in.
Because he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt badly, and if he's lucky, he won't get hurt badly. He'll just lose.
Yeah.
Somebody asked in the chat if Haney gets knocked out, is his career over? No, of course not. He can come back from that. I Am Your Leader said that, it could be close because he said he doesn't think Haney's a generational talent. Haney, I believe Haney, I don't know if he's a generational talent yet.
I think he will be.
I think he will be too. And I've always said, Haney, you know how high I've been on Haney.
Yeah, I'm a big Haney fan.
I'm a huge Haney fan. I thought he lost to Lomachenko, but I'm still a huge Haney fan.
Yeah.
I still think he's the best out there, Yeah. But how do you see this fight going? I mean, what do you think about Garcia and all that? I mean, do you think he should be fighting? Do you think it's,
Yeah, I think he should fight because I'm very skeptical on this behavior and what's behind it all. I think it's somewhat of an act. I think a lot of it's attention-seeking behavior.
Yeah.
And I think he just wants to create drama because that's what he does. I'm not sure if this guy will ever be happy. I don't know.
He's fought with depression before. He said he's battled with depression, and that's nothing to mess around with. And especially in a sport where, the other guy gets paid to put it on you like that, to really put the stamp on you. It's, look,
has this guy ever been examined? Has he ever been diagnosed with anything? Has he ever been to therapy?
That I don't know. We will never know unless he reveals it. But he did say he was taking time off for depression, wasn't it? The one time when he took off, and then he shows up in some beach somewhere the next day, and
it's like, what do you? Fight. If you really have this problem, what are you doing to address it and take care of it? Like Mike Tyson went to he actually went to the Mayo Clinic here in Massachusetts, which is known for dealing with psychiatric issues, right?
From Boston
and conditions, right? He was diagnosed with bipolar personality disorder. So,
I mean, like I said, man, it's I don't know, man. I like I said, I've always said I'll be shocked if this fight comes off, even after it was signed, after seeing that press conference and all the stuff leading into it. Yeah. And me, I love a good train wreck. So I'm all in, you know what I mean? So I'm like looking at his videos, and every time they come out, I'm watching them and stuff. And it's like, this guy is a complete train wreck. He's completely manic.
Yeah, he's out of control.
Yeah. So I think that, listen, man, I think Haney knocks him out. if not knocks him out, it's a one-sided dance the entire way. How do you see it going down?
I think that Devin Haney is going to just pick him apart and counterpunch him from the outside. And I could just see him breaking him down. And eventually, I think it's going to be like an accumulation type stoppage, if I'm being honest. I would not be surprised if if Ryan's corner pulls him out, or if in between rounds, Ryan may whisper to one of his cornermen, "Hey, get me out of here."
Yeah,
I could see that.
Like I said, man, when he's in it, you don't know what's going through his head, and you kind of wonder. And Oscar did have a good point, and he says, he's doing these videos. These videos take up 10, 15 minutes of his time. The rest of the day he's training, or he trained earlier, he trained after. You know what I mean? And I get that to an extent, but I believe the videos are showing you. Listen, man, you can only hide who you are for so long. You know what I mean? And I think his true colors are showing. I think that he's got a problem. I think he's got a mental issue, man. It needs to be addressed, and it can be fixed. It could be addressed. It could be, it could, like I said, it could be fixed. He could be going to therapy, whatever he needs. But James Hunt says he'll have an Oliver McCall moment. I believe it, man. I do believe it. I really do. I hate that this fight is actually coming off. I really do. But 15 minutes. Yeah, it adds up. I get it. But he's right. It's something to pass the time, just like whatever. But it's what he's saying. It's how he's acting. Yeah, I think he gets stopped, or it's a one-sided decision. And you think the same way? Yep, you're muted.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
Brian says that Ryan's going to win this fight. He's picking. I wanted him to call in this week. He told me he was going to call in. I don't know if he called in.
He might be on the line. He might be on the line now.
Right.
No way he wins this fight. No way he wins this fight. But he's got all the. But okay, so let me ask you this: does he have the tools to win the fight?
No.
Really?
I don't.
You don't think physically he's got the tools to win this fight?
No, I think Devin's an all-around better fighter. Unless he hits Devin with unless he hits Devin with that left hook and catches him clean, he could knock him. He can knock anyone out with one shot. But I mean, he landed a nice left hook against Tank, and Tank took it. So I don't know.
Well, could this be? Because these guys have fought 6 times in the amateurs, or 3 times, or
yeah.
They fought a little bit in the amateurs. Could this just be a good style matchup for both of them? Like they just have good styles and makes good fights.
Well,
who knows?
Devin's been active. He's been improving. He's been getting better. He's been honing his craft. Yeah, and he seems more dedicated.
I think he's also fought better competition.
Fought in better fighters.
Yeah, I think that's a plus on
he becomes undisputed at lightweight, became a champion at junior welterweight, two-weight champion at 24, 25 years old. So
yeah, I think he's the goods, man, but we'll see. And like I said, Ryan has all the tools. I really believe that Ryan has the tools to beat him. Like if Ryan Garcia was 100% coming in, you know what I mean? He could win the fight. I wouldn't pick him to win the fight, but he could.
Yeah, I don't think he wins.
But you don't think he wins it all. You don't even give him a chance.
I give him no chance.
That's awful, man. It's harsh
on
people.
Devin, Rafa's right, man. Devin's on a roll. He's got momentum. Seems to be getting better. So
yeah, he's good, man. He really is. 760. Is that Brian?
That's Brian.
All right. 760, you're live.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? What's
the word?
Jesus.
Brian in the building. Hey, Eric, I'm glad you're open to Ryan got a possibility to win the fight. I'm glad you're open to that.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
for sure. They're both talented guys.
Everybody just been telling me, they like, hey man, your boy gonna get knocked out. I'm like, knocked out. First of all, like, I don't see Devin knocking him out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when the last time I asked Steve this, he said it don't matter. I said, when the last time Devin knocked anybody out?
It's going to be it's April 20th.
So-
It's going to be the last time he knocks somebody out.
Let's see when the last time. That's a good point.
Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is on that one. For sure.
Check this,
You know what I'm
Brian.
saying?
Check
That's
this
all I
out.
gotta say.
That's like
Check this out.
asking.
Listen.
Devin do bills.
That's like asking
Here.
a virgin. That's like asking a virgin. When was the last time he got laid?
I'll stop it.
When he's in the room with the girl. Doesn't matter. He's gonna get it, so it doesn't matter when the last time he got laid.
September of 2019 against Zauer. September. Listen up. Listen.
Hey,
September 19th
Hey,
or
I
September
bet you if I
13th
tell you
of
to put your
2019.
money on it,
Hold
I
on.
bet you won't put no money on it. You won't put no money on that knockout, will you?
I may put the
Why?
401k on it right now.
Listen
if you
up,
want me to.
because he won't stop talking. All right, Zaur Abdullaev on 9/13 of 2019 was the last time Devin Haney had a knockout. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fights ago. He's got 15 knockouts and 31 fights, Beeb. Not exactly a picture of power. All right, Brian, come on back on.
Evan,
Yeah.
I said, and so all of a sudden he's gonna turn on the knockout switch and stop Ryan. All of a sudden, I don't see that happening. Devin can definitely outbox Ryan, that's for sure. But knock him out, I don't think so. However, if Devin do play that game of going in there and he's gonna go head up with Ryan, that's kind of buying into Ryan's game plan. And Ryan has a better chance of knocking Devin out. That's for sure. Don't you think?
It's not impossible, but
No, I don't think he has a better chance at all of knocking Devin out. No, I think Devin Haney is too skilled. Ryan's gonna have to catch him.
I don't think Ryan can knock him out neither, though. To be honest with you, I don't see neither one of them getting a knockout. But however, if you think about it, Eric, you got to be honest. Ryan is more of the puncher than Devin,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Whose punch would you put money on? Okay, so that's all I'm saying right there.
Yeah.
Okay? But I don't really see it in a knockout. However, I do think that Ryan could hurt Devin. You know what I'm saying? I think if Ryan is aggressive enough and stay in front of him, he don't let Devin work his finesse. Ryan is big. He's strong. I think he might be. Is he bigger than Devin, or are they about the same size?
I guess they're about the same size.
Do you think he has a slight?
I would think Devin.
Okay.
I would think Devin's bigger because he's like 160 pounds when he's in the ring.
Right. Okay. Who's been at this weight longer?
About the same. About the same.
Just one fight? They both just taking one fight?
Well, Devin's only had one fight at 140, so yeah, Ryan's been at 140 longer.
Yeah, they're both 5'8". Ryan's 5'8.5".
Okay.
Yeah, they're both about the same size.
I'm gonna tell you like this. To me, even though people coming at me like, hey, your boy gonna get knocked out. To me, I think it's 50-50. I think Ryan, he's explosive. Devin, he's a supreme boxer. It's just, I think their styles might cancel each other out. I mean, they fought in the amateurs 6 times. They was 3-3. I mean, I think it's just going to be a good fight, but I would go for Ryan. That's my boy. But
I agree.
If you put a gun to my head and I got to bet on somebody, I might slightly favor Devin because of his boxing.
So you're betting.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're making an emotional pick, not a logical pick. Just admit it. It's okay.
It's definitely an emotional pick.
It's not.
There's no way you can call this a 50-50 fight.
I mean,
if you're being honest, there's no way you can call this a 50-50 fight. None.
I really think so. I think it's because they have.
Let's look at the odds, Eric. Let me pull up the odds real quick.
Yeah, what are the odds?
I think it's the styles, man.
Can I say something else to you?
You might be onto something because, like I said, they split in the amateurs. Each one won in the amateurs and stuff.
forward.
Maybe it's
If
styles.
Ryan pushes forward.
Juan makes a good point, and I agree with him, and I've said this before too. Devin's a bigger, stronger guy at 140, and I think he could have knocked out Prograis, but for some reason, like he knocked him down a couple times. He's really banging him up, busted him up, and it was almost like he didn't want to knock him out. Like he took his foot off the gas in that fight. I think he could have got him if he wanted to. I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas against a guy like Ryan. Be honest.
Yeah.
Sounds stupid that I'm saying that, but
I mean, if
Haney's had one fight at 140. Ryan Garcia has had 3 fights at 140.
Devin Haney is a minus 950. He's almost a 10-1 favorite.
And let me tell you what, after the weigh-in, it's going to go up even more.
Damn.
So, like Juan said, he's not killing himself to make weight anymore. Like, I think he's gonna grow in. He's gonna be a much bigger, stronger puncher at 140 and at 147 than he was at 135. You got to understand, kid turned pro at 15. He stayed at the weight too long. He outgrew the division. So,
right.
I think
I don't know, man. I'll tell you like this. I'll say it like
at 140, at 140 he could be a better fighter. He could be a different fighter. Like when Floyd, it's almost like Floyd. When Floyd started out, he was a knockout guy. He was knocking guys out.
Yeah.
And then he started getting hand problems, right? And then as his career went on, he had less knockouts. Even Fury.
He started finessing.
Fury started getting knockouts later in his career. Sometimes a fighter, when they get bigger and stronger and they get older, they start sitting down on their shots, they become more of a puncher. Devin may become more of a puncher as he moves up in weight.
I mean,
you know why they do that, don't you?
That remains to be seen.
Because their legs go.
That remains to be seen. But I'll say
because they can't move anymore.
If Devin was
they changed their style.
If Devin knocks Ryan out, I'll be shocked. You know what I'm saying? But if he wins on decisions, if he wins on points or something,
let's see what the knockout proposition is. Let's take a look at these prop bets. Let's see what these prop bets.
Yeah, that's got to be what is it?
All right, we're going to check these prop bets and then we're going to get moving, Brian.
Okay. Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. All the time.
Devin by knockout is a plus 240.
Plus 240? What is it, Garcia by knockout?
Plus 850. Devin Haney by decision is a minus 165. So
no faith in your boy.
Devin by decision is a minus 165.
There it is. 716. You're live.
Who's this?
I don't know.
Different area code. I'm not used to seeing this area code. Hello?
Nobody. All right. There we go. Gone.
That's weird.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't want to talk. Maybe he's got gun shy.
That's an Ohio area code, isn't it?
No.
No, I'm sorry. What is a 716?
Let me see it. Hold on. Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to 917. 917. This is New York, I believe.
Hey, guys. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
This is Raphael from New York.
Raphael, love it.
Rafa, what up, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm on the same boat with the last caller. I see Devin. I see Ryan potentially stopping Devin.
Wow.
I know that a lot of people are kind of shocked by this. Obviously, Ryan hasn't really done himself any favors by promoting this fight the wrong way. And I think it's going to take a lot of people by surprise. I had Devin schooling Regis on the last fight. A lot of people were saying like, oh no, Regis is going to be like after Devin's shaky performance versus Lomachenko. Regis, he's taking a big chance. I said, no way. Regis is too flat-footed. He's a buster puncher, and to try to box with Devin he's gonna be in for a long night. With Ryan, the way that I see the fight playing out is that Ryan is going to come straight forward and make it a fight. I don't see if he tries to go out there and box Devin, he's done so. This is not a fight for him to go try to box Devin. This is a fight that he needs to make it a fight and make it ugly as possible and see what Devin is really made of. If it goes to a decision, obviously Devin all day, but this is going to be one of those fights where Devin is going to be probably on par when it comes to weight. Because in most fights, Devin is outweighing people by 15, 20 pounds anyways. In the Prograis fight, Prograis wasn't weighing that much. Like, I think Devin ballooned up to like 167 or 165 or something like that. So for this fight, I will be putting my money on Ryan, and it's going to shock a lot of people.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I hope you do well with your bet. I don't agree with it, but hey, listen, I hope you win, man. I hope you win. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, a lot of people's money on Devin right now because he has a higher IQ. He's a sharp guy. He just came out of a superb performance versus Prograis, which I think that he was tailor made for Devin. It was a very, very smart decision by Bill in choosing that fight. But you're only one fight away from either being, the laughing stock in boxing or being called one of the great fighters. Look at
That's right.
Shakur, before fighting De Los Santos, he was being looked at like the most feared guy in the division, and now everybody's calling him Shakira Twitterson, and the same thing for Teofimo. After that, Josh Taylor, people were calling him the best fighter at 140, and after his performance versus this kid, it was like, he can't find any boxers. Devin is like, listen, you're only one fight away from either being the best guy in the division or being the laughing stock. So a lot of people are going to be shocked, and I think Devin is due for one of those weak performances. I'm telling you guys. I'll be the first one calling in, eating crow next Sunday if it goes the other way. There
you go. All right, Raphael, thank you so much, my friend. We're going to get running here. There's a lot of people taking Devin Haney, but a lot of people taking Garcia, which I'm surprised. I really am. I know he's got a lot of fans and everything, but I'm kind of surprised, especially given the state of affairs with him lately. I'm shocked that a lot of people are picking Garcia here. But the betting, I mean, he's a huge favorite. Devin Haney's a huge favorite. But when I see the chat, I'm looking at the chat. There's a lot of people saying Ryan's going to win. We've had a couple of people calling in. Ryan's going to win. It'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the news and rumors here. Jaron Boots Ennis. Beeb, he signed with Matchroom. There goes his career, buddy. Late. Talk to you later. Jaron Ennis signs with Matchroom. I can't, I'll be honest, man.
You don't like the move?
No, not even a little bit. Who's he going to fight over at Matchroom? With Eddie Hearn running his career.
He can fight he can fight Santione. He could fight Alexis Rocha. Here's the thing with Eddie Hearn. He keeps his fighters busy. That's number one.
Yeah.
And he has a willingness to work with other promoters a lot. Like him and Frank are working together now. He works with Golden Boy very well. He works with Top Rank very well. So they can mix and match these guys. Another thing too is there's really no huge fights for Boots Ennis at 147. And what big fights was he getting over at PBC? He wasn't really getting the fights that he needed. And he wasn't being active over at PBC.
But there's really nobody there. Who's there?
Well,
I mean, really, the fight to make is him and Crawford. I'll be honest, man. If Crawford's got to move up to 147, Crawford's got to move up to 154. We all know he's going to move up, so he's going to vacate those titles. It's pointless. Correct. He's not getting that fight.
But
it's a fight to make, but they're not going to make it. Go ahead.
Hear me out here. The only fight over at PBC that he had was with Stanionis. He could fight Virgil Ortiz. That's a Golden Boy guy. Because think about this, Eric. He's not going to stay long at 147. He's going to go up to 154. And that's where the money's at. That's where the money's going to be at for him.
Well, I don't know that he goes up to 154.
I think he goes up to 154 next year because he's huge.
Yeah.
He's huge. He walks around at like 170, 175. He's a big dude. He's 5'11".
And you know what? I agree. And JC just said it too, the activity thing. That may be, as long as he, listen, man, if as long as he can get fights over there.
Yeah.
If he gets fights and he's saying, because he's a great fighter.
Because think about it, Eric. All the guys at PBC, Spence is going to 154, right? Thurman's gone. Who else is going to 154 over there? There's really no welterweight. Danny moved up, right?
Who cares?
Jose Benavidez moved up. All these guys, all the guys over there moved up to 154. And then Porter and Thurman, they're gone, right? So there's really no one over there either. Yeah. Right? If you think about it. So this really isn't such a bad move.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
So the money,
as long as they keep him busy, can keep him busy,
Then he can fight Conor Benn too. That's another good fight for him.
When was the last time Ennis fought?
Shit, I can't remember. So these guys are so inactive that you can't, I can't remember the last time they fought.
Let me pull it up here. I got him. He's 31-0, 28 knockouts. Jesus.
Did he fight November?
July of last year.
See, that's crazy, Eric.
That's nuts, man.
You can't be over there and not get fights, bro.
No. Yeah, I get it.
You can't be over there and not get fights. They don't even. How many dates do they even have? Like, look at them now. They have like we're already like through the first quarter and they have 2 fucking dates, and they're supposed to come in. I think, and they're supposed to come back in June. So in 6 months they'll have 3 cards that they put on, Eric. In 6 months, that's outrageous, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I didn't like the move at first, but you've convinced me. I like it now.
I kind of convinced you, right?
I said goodbye to his career when he said, "Well, I saw that move to Matchroom." I'm like, "Come on, man, Matchroom." Yeah,
Eddie works with other promoters. He tries to make fights.
At least he didn't go to Golden Boy.
Yeah,
I mean, that would have been.
Golden Boys, like they got Alexis Rocha, they got Santillon. So I mean, they got some good fighters with Golden Boy. I'm sorry, Santillone's Top Rank. I apologize. I always think that he's with Golden Boy, but he's not. He's with Top Rank. But I just think that Bob, Eddie, Frank, and Oscar, they all work well together. So you, again, when you're over at PBC, he wasn't really a PBC fighter, but he was on that PBC platform most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Stanionis, thank you, HLD. Stanionis is a free agent, right? So again, like I think it's a good move. Time will tell, but I think as we see this thing play out, well, I think we'll be happy with it.
Yeah, I hope so. For his sake, I hope so, because he should have. I mean, this guy
great talent. Great talent.
Good. Yeah, and he hasn't got a title shot yet. Let's say, come on, man.
Well, he's a champion now. He got elevated. He's the IBF champ. He got elevated to the IBF champ.
He didn't fight anybody.
I know.
Who'd he fight? The IBF interim world title. Come on, stop it.
No, I think they elevated him to full champion because
and I'm sure they did. They did because he left. Crawford, he got somebody left.
Crawford, you know what I mean? Crawford got stripped and they elevated him to the full champion. Yeah.
Stop.
He didn't really win a title. He got elevated.
Right. It's about like I won the Ringside Reporter title over here. Look at that. Yeah. Come on. Is Triple G is retired? Maybe.
I don't know.
So, according to Tom Loeffler, quote, "I was always hoping for one more fight, whether it was a farewell fight in Kazakhstan or one of these matchups you see in the Middle East, that type of thing. But with February announcement by the Kazakh National Committee that Golovkin is going to be his new, I guess Golovkin is now the president now of the committee of the Kazakhstan National Committee. And he's head of boxing in the country.
Wow.
So he's the head of every sport. So
good for him.
And he said it's a full-time job for him. And I would imagine, I mean, who wouldn't like that kind of thing?
Why not?
And he loves Kazakhstan. He loves his hometown and everything like that. So I think that I think it's a good move. I don't want to see Triple G fight again. there's no reason for him to fight again.
There's no reason.
He's got nothing left to prove.
Nothing
Tom
left to
Loeffler said he's made a lot of money. So, hey, I'm sure he's getting paid at his new job pretty well, too. I'm sure that pays a pretty penny.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Promoter Gary Shaw, did you hear about this? He passed away at the age of 79, man. That's crazy.
Very sad. But 79 is no, it's pretty.
It's good age, man. I mean, he got up there.
It's not horrible,
No.
But you are seeing guys live into their 90s. Some people are living longer and longer. So I guess that's not too bad,
Yeah.
Pretty
Scalebender says Triple G's about 200 pounds right now.
Yeah, he looks big.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he looks big. It's like he's enjoying his life. Let's just say that. And as well he should.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well he should. Why not?
Absolutely. And O.J. Simpson passed away this week, babe. Your boy passed away. I was surprised when I heard it, but I did hear like about a week ago that he was in hospice.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I knew he had like some kind of cancer or whatever. They said about a week ago that he was in. I'd read somewhere that he was in hospice or something like that. But yeah, I love this. I love OJ. There's so many legends passing away this week.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you. I was just going to ask you.
Okay.
If I was on the jury, I would have said not guilty because there's doubt.
Yeah, if you were on the jury, listen, here's the deal. There's a difference between not guilty and I didn't do it. There's a big difference. And on the jury, if you're on the jury, I don't know how you could have chose guilty. I really don't. With the evidence that was presented and everything like that. Now, if we're not on the jury and we're looking at all the evidence, you remember the Bruno Mali shoes that he said I would never wear? And they got a picture of him running in the shoes on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know if he did it. I'm being honest. I'm not saying he didn't have. I'm not saying he didn't have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he did it himself.
You don't know if he did it himself. The blood was in his car, on his shoes, on his sock,
he could have went
in his house, on his stairs, in the bedroom, in the washing machine, everywhere. Stop.
I don't know if it was his blood, the blood of the victims, though.
So let me ask you a question.
He did cut his hand on the glass.
No, he didn't cut his hand on the glass. Let me tell you that. But let me tell you. So you think the evidence was planted?
Let's get Alan Dershowitz in here.
Do you think the evidence was planted? You think the LAPD planted the evidence?
Yes.
You do. So you think that they went over there? They went over to his house to let him know that his ex-wife had passed away or that she had been murdered, right? They didn't know if he was in town or not. Think about it. This dude's a big celebrity. He's always in and out of town, going everywhere. They had no idea where he was. None. They didn't know if he was in town, if he wasn't in town. They didn't know anything about that. They show up and they plant all this stuff at his house. But what if he was out of town?
Yeah.
What if he was? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And you know how big that conspiracy would have had to been? Come on. Makes no sense. The juice is on the loose. OJ said if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. What's the matter with you guys? All right, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at JHabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com, and you can find me on X at Ringside73. And we'll be reviewing the Ryan Garcia fight next week, the Ryan Garcia-Devin Haney fight. And until then, man, we'll see you guys next week.